Hey everybody, I'm Dane Holland, and I just don't really have the words.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and I didn't think it could happen to us.
I'm Marcus, IamELECTRICman, and I was the memory of this show, but now the memory is gone.
I'm Austin Tiny Zent, and I feel like it's my fault.
But
It's
it's no one's fault.
It's not your
It's no one's fault.
It's totally my fault.
It was the podcast demon stole episode 51 of Nerd It Through the Grapevine, a podcast where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. Okay, so here's what happened. We recorded an amazing episode.
It was a good one.
Possibly our best yet.
It was so good.
It was so good.
I think we all agree that was a really good episode that got taken from us.
And I mean, honestly, even if it wasn't the fish that got away, man,
It was this big.
It was the biggest
It was so
episode we
big.
would have ever had.
Ever. We had so many guests.
It was-
We had phone calls from famous stars.
Celebrities.
Out the wazoo.
It was our great white buffalo.
Yes, it was. But anyway, what had happened? It showed that it was recording the whole time. And then whenever I got the SD card into my computer, it only recorded for about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. It shut itself off from saving while still showing that it was recording. So this episode is about the one that never was. And you get to reminisce with us on something that you didn't get to experience. So this is going to be a weird ride.
Yes, I feel strange already. So, in this episode that we sadly lost, I introduced to, I guess, our audience and our fellow grapes here that we were about to turn one as a podcast.
Good gaga.
It's getting close since we started the social media thing and everything. And so I just went through our back catalog and just started, picking up little things that we may have forgotten that we had talked about in this past year.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like it was yesterday.
I remember that like it was 2 days ago.
It was 2 days ago.
Yeah, this is an emergency recording.
It really
right
is. I have to edit
We had
this
to jump back
immediately.
into it.
But
and
we had to have a day of grieving in between Friday when we recorded and today. Like we had to have Saturday.
Like literally,
several
after I
naps.
left, I went home and started playing our theme on the piano.
You were in the perfect mindset for it.
You got to your apartment and you said, just your hair was draped in your face. You were sweaty and just anxious,
Yeah.
and you're just bum bum bum.
I took an angry shower before I went to bed.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't just go to bed.
Sorry. My question for you is, did you leave the podcasting lube on you? Because, we do lube up Marcus before every recording.
He's already pretty slippery, but we got to get
Yeah.
him super slip.
Yeah, you don't want to get a hold of him because things go haywire.
That's why he's so good at sliding into these topics.
Yeah, so some of the things that you missed us talk about and have fun with last episode was that in the very first episode that we ever did, you talked about an Alexa pop-up book idea that I thought was kind of cool. If taken to like the next level, the Acid Trip app that Dane invented on the fly, talking about the Neuralink. And it was the first episode that we kind of went into our alternate universe theories and maybe or even carving out our own alternate universe. I'm not really sure.
Which has kind of been, I think, the golden points of our whole show is those moments of alternate universes to where even when we were recently... I believe in the last episode that we just lost, we talked about being reviewed by a podcast, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So
good. Yeah.
So
well,
I
smooth
remember
so far.
something.
Here we go.
So yeah, the podcast called "Pick Me!" They are a podcast where they review other podcasts. That's all it is. It comments on them and tells you what's great about them, what's not great about them, and it's actually pretty cool, like to be able to hear about some podcasts you maybe never listened to. And we are the very first podcast that they reviewed in their season 3, the very first episode of it. And this is mainly all thanks to Betty Boom at Nightmare Town, because she told them how great we were in an episode to where they covered her podcast. So
And you can catch me in their latest episode as well. I just did a guest spot on theirs, so shout out to them from me as well.
yes. And so this Pick Me reviewer, he reviewed us and gave us a 9.5 out of 10 on the entertainment scale, which is very, very cool and felt really good to hear someone that's never met us talk about how much they enjoy our show.
And it was very cool because that 9.5 was a created 0.5, because he doesn't even use that in his ranking system, but he said, like, you guys deserve that
He
extra.
felt the need to say
Yeah.
he wanted us to have that
Yeah.
0.5.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
so to me, 100%. That's
Thank you.
You know what else too we were introduced in the last episode? We introduced a new way to canonize things.
We did.
We did.
We
And
did.
it's just sometimes the little gong effect that we do on the microphone doesn't come through the way we need to, so we just need something more prevalent. And what is it that we had just discussed that the canonization would be? That 9.5, that 0.5 score, that exists for us in the Nerd Grapevine universe.
The
What?
0.5, yeah, it doesn't exist in his universe
Yep.
because he doesn't do 0.5s.
Yep.
But in our universe that we made, he does use
He
them.
gives us a 0.5.
Canon.
And this is the sound of canonization.
Tiny's cowbell that he carries with him every day.
Yep.
And you would know that if you listened to episode 17 when it was his very first episode. But shortly before that, in episode 13, we actually mentioned ICP on the podcast for the first time. And the word juggalo gigolo was mentioned. Now we have our own.
Yeah. And canonization started on episode 26, where we canonized that the theme song to Firefly is emo.
I laughed at it then. I'm laughing at it now. It's
Yeah.
funny. That's 3 times I've laughed at that. When we
Perfect.
recorded it, when we talked about it in the lost episode, and now, wow,
In the found episode.
this is the
This
found.
is the found
Okay.
I mean,
episode.
so far, we're doing
Hold
a pretty
on.
good job at channeling it.
Hold on.
Thanks.
As you were.
Oh, goodness. The Grapevine Wrestling Federation in episode 4, I thought was a funny topic.
Hell yeah, brother.
Jesus had a green lightsaber, confirmed in episode 3. You'll just have to go back and listen to episode 3 to hear how that one came about.
Yeah, these are all little teasers for you.
Also,
This
we
is-
all had fun. It's just not going to be the same this time, but Austin used to wear his cup upside down in Little League Baseball.
And here's the thing: it never becomes unfunny to imagine just a confused little boy whose mom is the one who's helping him get ready for his baseball games because his dad really doesn't give a shit. So his dad's off doing his own thing, playing ball. And he's not around to see his kid play, so the mom's left up to, all right, honey, let's make sure everything, you got your uniform on, all right, you got your cup on, yeah, mom. So I got my cup on upside down to where my dingus and my berries are separated in the most uncomfortable way a person can imagine, and that's with a rubber line. A rubber line.
God, I bet you had some like chafing and blisters
You know-
or something.
You know, the
Goodness.
thing about it is, I kind of walked like a cowboy.
Now we know why.
So it's kind of, and I didn't really ever realize it. I just thought that was the way baseball players walked. Because,
because you have to wear a cup.
yeah, like they all got to walk like this because they're wearing these cups. They're ridiculous. No, it's, boy, your dingus goes in the other end.
If you just slid it back a little bit, it could be like a turd basket, so that you could like go to dookie on yourself in right field, and nobody will really like care. You know?
No,
You can still
because,
slide.
because I played on Team Sonic and we had white pants.
But that would also like impact it into your scrum, I feel like, and that would just be bad.
Oh man, and then your beans would just be floating in your chili.
See, and you said to imagine you know, being the kid that you were. I imagine you as your grown man self making this mistake.
You know, to be
And
honest,
it's much worse.
I'll be honest. If they didn't put the labels on the cups like the actual brand, like Reebok or whoever the hell has made the cup, I wouldn't know what direction it was supposed to go on, because I just never, because we always got like the Walmart off-brand, like just
The turd basket.
like just like the plain white face with the holes in it kind of thing, and turns out it was a hockey mask the whole time.
God.
I have a question that just occurred to me. Now, being a young boy and not knowing proper cup orientation and alignment, did you just like put it in the underwear, or did you actually like wear a jock strap? Because for some reason I found this important. I need the full picture.
Tiny, can I tell you something?
Sure.
I would just put it in my pants.
So just free floating.
Hold on. And I would wear my underwear. And the thing, I used to wear whitey tidies. Okay, so this is great. So it would be just a smushed mashed potato situation going on in my young adolescent crotch area. So you got to think about how we're taking like this. So we're taking like this. Okay, so it's like a bird's nest was taken away from the family, and the eggs and the baby birds left over that hatched first. And so, like, that's jammed into the wrong position of the cup that is on the outside of the underwear, but I'd wear a jock strap over it because I thought you had to secure it to yourself. So I wore a jock strap. My dad got so upset, and he taught me the right way to do it because I was getting ready. I was changing clothes after a game, and he saw me take my cup situation off. And he said, "Boy, what the hell is going on?" I'm sorry that I tangented so hard on that. But
No, we needed that. We needed a good laugh after we lost our initial
I'm just
laugh at
imagining
that whole story.
a Jason mask with mashed potatoes being pushed through it.
I mean, that's kind of like what his underwear situation is as a grown man.
Yeah. Except I wear boxer briefs because I like them secured to my legs instead of my hips.
Oh, God.
And he wears the cuff the right way now every day.
On my buffle to keep Dane from poking it.
I'm gonna
I
get
just
it.
use a shin guard, but that's
I'm
me.
gonna get it.
So, in episode 9, we talked about how you, as a younger man,
Me, Dane.
made Austin a Shazam cape,
Yes.
which turned out to kind of better reflect the more modern iteration. Like back then when you made it, once you explain it, you'll do it better.
Well, yeah, I used too much material because I got real excited. I wanted to have all the material. I wanted it to be the best cape that you could possibly imagine. And there's a little too much flap up there. But
Yeah, like an elongated collar. So, so the collar on the cape ended up being, it's supposed to look like it could prop up and it like be puffed and everything, but it ended up being just a little bit too long for that. So we were like, man, this would make a good hood, and it actually did. It hooded over really well.
But that was before the
There was-
modern iteration of Shazam.
That's before hoods were in the comics.
I just thought that was a fun story because we have been known to predict a few things here and there.
And
I mean, I'm not calling it magic.
but it is.
There might be a specific tapping into of nerd comic energy that we have and possess as a team.
That's also the episode I had my mustache meltdown.
Oh, the mustache meltdown. Mine's too soft. It doesn't create enough noise.
Episode 10, we didn't have any topics. We came up with an adult film idea called Cockadoodle Doo Me. Our friend Rooster,
Member of the show as well, Ed Grape.
yes, claims to have 2 pipes in his gullet, one for yogurt and such, and one for steak and such, if you remember.
Don't get yogurt in your steak tube. or
13.
steak in your yogurt tube.
Or you can end up being like Carly, who has to have a life jacket just to sit on the couch.
Can't drink water without it getting just coughing it up.
I started yelling. Sometimes when she gets the cough, I'm like, "You need your life jacket." Shut up.
Episode 15, Frogman enters the grapevine for the first time.
I'm still convinced he did not exist in the Marvel Universe until we talked about him on the show and created him.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I think he was retroactively created in that universe. Like, I don't know. There's some kind of time warp.
We went into the grapevine universe, created him,
Yes.
and then when we came back to our world, somehow he had.
Yes. He was
It
already
could be
there.
like it could be like the Speed Force.
Right,
Because it just because it exists throughout everything. So why not?
In episode 17, our own Shazam here recovered from his bout with COVID. That's Tiny's first episode, as I mentioned earlier. And somehow we decided that Carrie Fisher is my doppelganger, or that I look like her with these headphones on.
Oh, that's true.
And then, which it already was kind of canon, but now you get to hear us ring the bell for the canon, which is now the thing.
I want to see you in the Slave Leia outfit.
No, you don't.
I'm sorry. I really do.
Marcus, are you a hairy man?
Not so much. I have a lot of hair on my head.
You really wouldn't be his hair. I hope he's just a completely sparse hair kind of guy.
I mean, I
Smooth boy.
have hair,
I bet
but
you
it's
only
just not real thick and.
I bet you only have hair on your upper calves. I bet your lower calves are smoother than they should be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I knew it.
Episode 30, the king was dead, and all of the fast food icons and avatars had to fight it out for dominance over the Burger Kingdom.
That was a turning point for our podcast. I
think
believe.
so.
I think
I think
once
so.
we did that, we were like, man, we can tell a pretty good story.
Or just come up with stuff out of our sphincters.
Our buttholes,
Our
yeah,
buttholes.
right in the moment.
Because right after that, the very next episode, we came up with a sequel to a movie that was never made, or something of the nature. Friends 2, Demons in the Dugout. And then episode 33, Gary Busey had his first orgasm in the Grapevine universe.
And you say first because it will not be the last.
Exactly. You missed it, guys. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, we're
Some
sorry.
of these we had a good laugh at last time.
Yeah, but now they're stupid. I hate
Now
them.
it just
Yeah.
seems like we wasted that energy on them already.
Gosh, we did. We really did. Some of them, we got the good laugh out of your cup again.
Yeah.
Even more so this time. I think.
Yeah, well, that's just because I went into more depth, storytelling on it because I needed to. Just like thinking about Gary Busey, how you doing, Gary Busey? I'm doing good, Gary Busey. How are you? And this is a conversation he has in the mirror every morning, just because fear, Gary Busey says, is false entities appearing real. How you doing, Gary Busey? I'm doing pretty good, Gary Busey. How about you?
Oh God, I hate the teeth thing.
I know.
I hate it so much.
Well, they had something to
Sucks.
say too.
Marcus, what else have we done?
Episode 4.
Oh, it's smacking that mouth, boy.
yeah, Daddy.
Jeez, it's so ferocious.
Every time I do it, y'all are like, "Oh God!"
You're gonna knock a tooth out one of these days.
It'll be. I do mean it. I'm mad at myself. Episode 34 was our long-awaited ASMR.
You screwed it up again.
I don't know what this is. I just learned about it on episode
He's true to
34.
form.
ASMR.
Yes, I've been long enough. And then in episode 36, we licked measuring tapes,
Yeah, we did.
and that was
For
fun.
science.
We licked
Yes.
a single measuring tape.
Yeah, we all looked at the same one.
Yep. Yeah. Just to find out.
as you do with your buddies.
And then we said, blah, blah, what's going to happen in the future of the podcast, blah, blah, because we didn't know we were about to lose the episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What he just mumbled was, what do we think we're going to end up doing with the podcast?
Yeah. Or at least just what is the next year? It was a
Right.
year in review, and then
Yeah,
kind of look to the
yeah.
future. Past, present, future, nerd culture. It was so good, guys. It was so
good.
good.
I talked
It
about
was.
monetization eventually, hopefully, by having sponsors, but only to fuel the podcast more rather than actually make it, income based, because I'm not that, wishful. Austin talked about doing live shows because we actually have places that are offering to let us do that there.
Which I would pee on myself on stage. So if y'all want to see that.
You record music
Yeah,
in front of people.
Well,
Not record
you play
music.
yeah,
You
but
play
I do
music
that in the
front of
comfort
people.
of my own home.
You technically record it because you use a loop station.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you're
that's
technically
true.
recording music.
So
in
he
front of
was
people.
right.
yeah, I don't know. It's different.
It is different.
I'd have to
trying
get
be
used to it.
Funny.
Plus, even after all these years of doing that, I still get nervous and get anxiety.
Yeah.
Well, you know the fun,
But y'all can come laugh at me. Do that, I guess.
The fun thing is, though, we can have our headphones on and have no idea what they're doing out there. Like, if only we wanted to. Like, we could set a microphone facing the audience
They'll say
just so
something.
we can pick up noise from the audience.
I was like, what are they saying?
And I feel like if
they
we
like me?
if we did do a live show, we would sit up there at, in my head it's like a long table and we're all sitting on one side, but we sit with our backs to the audience because we're different.
Yes, it would help. It would definitely help.
Oh no!
I mean, I
then
wouldn't
they're
be
gonna get
nervous,
what was
but,
the episode where we talked about the butt cracks pictures? The guy from the Magic the Gathering
Magic
show.
tournament.
Yeah.
Then people could take pictures
Big
with
pound.
our butt cleavage.
We could
Absolutely.
we could do live shows in front of full-length body mirrors where we just sit and talk to ourselves in that mirror the entire time.
From the alternate universe.
But that's the trippy part, because the self that's talking to the audience is the self that's reflecting from the mirror because we have our backs to the audience. So
Oh
I
man,
mean,
this is
that's how mirrors work.
so that could be some kind of tapping into alternate Elseworlds power right there within itself, because that's our reverse self that's actually presenting everything to them.
yeah.
That's how mirrors work.
Yeah.
But
So,
it
yeah.
would be great if the audio was backwards too.
would it be
Anyway.
great?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I think it would be awful, right?
I don't know.
I mean, it'd be bad.
I don't care. I don't listen.
But
Hey,
lying, I
another
do.
one bites the dust was about people getting shot up and killed, but it was a bad song once they found out it was. You spin that record backwards and smoke the marijuana, smoke the marijuana. Like what? Queen said, "Smoke the marijuana on the record if you go backwards on it."
that was a thing for a little while, wasn't it? Playing the records backwards. Yeah. We need to somehow implement that into this show.
Oh,
and
okay.
Send terrible messages to children.
Oh, absolutely.
Since we have children that listen to this.
Many.
Well, at least if
MINI.
at least if you don't have a father-style figure to show you how to properly put on a cup, you can hear it from me how to not do it. So what I didn't do is
it.
what you do.
Do that.
So you get the jock strap, you put your cup in the right way, and then you have to put that on. That's how it goes. It's one single unit. It's like
Conveniently, putting a jock strap on correctly, it emphasizes your package in the proper light, just like the package on the actual Yellow Ranger from Super Sentai, because that was a dude.
Yes.
If you did not know.
Yes.
yeah, that's true.
My topic was
Not anymore.
Mighty
though.
Morphin Power Rangers from 1993, the television show. And we spoke about how the action scenes were from a Japanese television show called Super Sentai.
I've heard all this.
Yeah, I know. And the Yellow Ranger was a dude. And that's why the Yellow Ranger didn't have a skirt, but the pink one did.
Yeah.
And we talked about the gentleman playing Zack missing a finger, but you can only see it in a couple instances throughout the show.
And I met him.
Which you
Yeah.
still didn't tell us how that went.
He was just in Knoxville at the mall, and my parents took me to go stand in line and meet him and get his autograph.
Oh, I thought you were standing in line at a buffet and you were like, "Whoa,
no,
hey,
no.
what's up,
No,
man?"
we actually went to one of his public appearances.
Was it actually Walter Jones?
Yeah.
You're serious?
Yes.
That's cool.
I stood in line as a 12-year-old for probably no less than 2.5, 3 hours to get a piece of paper signed by the Red Ranger and Pink Ranger, which were just two people in costume on stage. And you got to actually have Walter Jones, the guy that played Zack.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Pink Ranger you met was not Amy Jo Johnson?
No, she wouldn't have been Amy Jo Johnson in the first place at that point, because that would have been Kat. She was the blonde girl that was Australian.
Amy Jo Johnson is the best Pink Ranger. She's my favorite Pink Ranger.
I mean,
because
she was okay.
she's a phenomenal actress.
Is that it? Is that what you think?
That is what I think.
Is that as good as?
What are you expecting from me?
I feel like Dane's got a rolled up newspaper in his hand because this last episode we introduced something else.
Are you trying to goad me into saying that Amy Jo Johnson is an extremely attractive woman?
Tiny's hot horn
Oh gosh,
was introduced in the last episode as well.
he got so many of them too.
Yeah.
I did.
He
We
couldn't
missed out.
stop stepping in it.
It's okay though. Like
I can't help it. I'm a single man. I'm allowed to look.
Absolutely, you are.
that is true.
I
He
pay
is
my taxes. Don't you tell me what to do.
So Tiny's hot horn is whenever he's giving the description of, say, an actress or just a woman in general walking down the street, adding their looks to the story when it doesn't really matter. He gets the hot horn to where we get to give it to him. Plus, it gives me a reason to do this horn, and I love this app. So I never have enough reasons to do it. So now I do.
Perfect. But I kind of feel like that it's like you said, the rolled up newspaper just smacking me on the nose. Because, I mean, like, for instance, Amy Jo Johnson is an attractive lady. And I feel like that is important when describing her terrific acting skills.
Well, also at the same time,
Gary Busey is a good actor, and he's not pretty.
No, he's not.
I don't think either. I think both of the things you said are it's opposite of each other because you have one that's completely true and one that's completely false, but you said it in the same sentence like they were both the same level of truthfulness. I don't enjoy that. You need to go get yourself checked.
I got you good.
Yeah.
What about the Power Rangers? Lord Zed. We talked about how gross Lord Zed's body is. And
Yes.
it's how his brain's showing and all of his muscles and sinew and
Like that is
And
Lord Zed's entirety is just hanging brain.
Yeah.
Like that is.
It just occurred to me that he's wearing a chrome codpiece.
yes.
Yeah.
His cup was put on properly, unlike yours.
Yeah, because his attached to a metal. Smacking it. You
Yeah,
got
Daddy.
some metal. It's metal. It was attached to a metal.
Metal, right?
A metal, right?
And isn't
Yeah.
his mouth
metal,
like a
right?
grill? Like it's like
It
all
is.
grilled out.
Smile for me,
It is.
Daddy.
Well, so you don't have to see the mouth of the person behind it moving it. They didn't
Yeah.
have to animate a mouth or make
But did it
one
look like
costume.
teeth or did it just
No.
look?
Like a grill, like just a grill of a vehicle. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, yeah.
Silver and black.
Trying to picture.
Yeah.
And he has the little
Just
Z on the
burnt.
top of his head.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, really good.
I
Bad
remember.
show.
I remember because I used to have an action figure of him before the show before he ever appeared in the show. I said that last episode with way more energy than I
Way
said
more,
it this time.
and we were all very
Yeah.
surprised then. But
Yeah.
now I already know it, so I don't care.
Well, my whole thing was being the memory of the show.
I understand
Because you
I just
started
don't
talking
care
about
anymore.
something that we had talked about on the show before, which brought us back to
Past
the actor who played Billy.
Yeah, David Yost. I talked about how he was bullied and about how he was, he's homosexual, and they did not have a very good time dealing with that on the show. The cast was fantastic. They were all really supportive of him and everything. And I'm saying that just in a blanket term in general, like as far as the cast goes, because I don't know specifics on his like personal relationships with everybody, so I'm not going to just pretend and just know that. But in general, everybody was supportive and nice about everything. But the crew and the directors and everything else, they were just always kind of punks to him about it.
Yeah. They called him bad names and all kinds of horrible things. And Billy was one of my favorite Rangers. He was second to Tommy as the Green Ranger because as a child, well, and as a grown adult, green's my favorite color, but as a child, that seemed more important at the time. But Billy was always right up there with Tommy just because he was the smartest one in the group. He made cool stuff, and he always seemed to have like great decisions compared to some of the others.
And if we were to now, I mean, when we were kids, was our favorite always like either the red or the white or the green, like the leader? Was that pretty much all of our favorites growing up?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
Tommy's
can't
my
really remember who was my favorite before Tommy.
favorite. Right.
Well, there was an iteration of Power Rangers that had the Titanium Ranger that I quite enjoyed. But if you're going with the original team,
Yeah, Mighty Morphin.
Man, I always liked the battle axe.
The Gold Ranger.
Oh man,
Gold Ranger was cool
when
looking.
Jason
man.
came back. Yeah.
But like now, I know how nerdy of a human I am and how much I love technology, and I would definitely be a Billy. Like Billy is my that's my
Spirit
power
animal?
Sona, my Ranger Sona.
Ooh,
Yeah, my
I
Ranger
like that.
Sona would be something along the lines of Billy, but it would be myself.
I think I would be the Black Ranger because, I mean, how metal.
Yeah.
And the Black Ranger was usually the one that kind of liked music and like culture a little bit more.
He also liked to break dance, so please.
Right.
Please.
Yes.
But mine would be a
Yes.
slam dancing. Mine would be like mosh pit,
mosh
Black
pit,
Ranger.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
That's
want
your
to see you
Ranger.
two-step, like metal two-stepping over in the corner. Just,
Absolutely.
Just your arms and your legs. Just poof.
So your Ranger Sona is based upon the Black Ranger.
Absolutely.
Right.
Would you
Wonderful.
add the wallet chain to your suit?
Sure. Might as well.
I mean, you might as well at that point. The wallet chain, some shoulder spikes.
Tiny, who's your Ranger Sona based after?
Oh man, I would probably still say the Green Ranger, because
The bad boy.
yeah, when he first come along, he was used to infiltrate the Rangers because he's got his power coin from Rita Repulsa. She tried to control him to infiltrate the Rangers and break them down from the inside, just like I've done with this podcast. Still doing it, and I'm still doing it. I've yet to be redeemed as the White Ranger.
One day we will.
Vosto, who's your Ranger Sona based after?
Jason, the Red Ranger.
Good.
In the actual Super Sentai, they were related, the character of the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger, and they were brothers. And they were able to share their powers. So on the footage to where you've got Jason and Tommy to where they'll switch over that chest shield, that's not them actually needing to do so because they're just doing it to help a teammate out. That's a brotherly gift that only those two can share.
I did remember when the Red Ranger got the shield.
But-
I was like pumped.
He shared it with the Black Ranger too in one episode.
Yes. But that was some kind of special circumstance, and I forget what that was. Because I was also towards the end of that power existing.
Deep cuts.
Yeah.
Sorry. That got to pause real quick because I thought Tiny had something else to say because typically we're good at back and forth, but he was over there having
I was kind of tuned out doing something else.
You always do that to me.
I know.
We
I know.
were.
I think me and you could make a good Bulk and Skull, Tiny.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's who?
Obviously, I'm Skull because I'm better looking.
I mean,
He's Bulk because he's
I
bigger
can't really
than
argue
me.
with that.
Dang it.
Can't
Yeah.
argue with that.
Yeah, clearly by the name of IamELECTRICman and Tiny, like, you know who's the bigger one of that group.
Absolutely. Marcus is huge.
Where it counts. That hair.
Yeah. Yeah, and his
Yep.
muscles.
Yep.
You're a big man. You could fight me.
Oh God, he's flexing his hair.
So, and I had spoken about Underworld and the lichens and the vampires and all of the happy fun times that they have together in their little war, and how there was some death and some really, there was this dude with like a really deep voice. We talked about him, and he was like,
Oh, yeah. That was
creator.
real funny.
Yeah, and then there was this, we got into how many movies there were and how
Yeah. There's at least 3. Yeah.
And we
There's
described the
more than
plot
that
of Bloodlines.
Blood Wars.
Blood Wars, yeah. We
What was
described the plot of that. Well, okay, the movie starts out in a nightclub full of vampires.
Oh Jesus,
dancing
I forgot.
around. And
I hate you.
the fire suppression system kicks on, blood comes out, and it's getting all over them, and they're being all
tiny.
sweaty and bloody.
That's the movie.
And then another vampire walks in, dressed in this long black leather trench coat,
That's
Ja
Blade.
Rule.
That's-
with a sword that only he can pull out. And that man is Wesley Snipes. And if you pull out that sword incorrectly, it removes all your hand.
And also,
and he just waylaid everyone.
and then Shia LaBeouf's in the ceiling in the water filtration system, and he puts this holy cross into the water filtration system, and then they light this. They set off the sprinklers with the holy water in it, and it kills all the people in the room while the other vampires coming through with his shotgun and killing everybody.
Yeah.
Y'all should have done topic over Blade.
Oh, sorry, mine was Constantine.
Oh, his was Blade, right?
No.
Tiny's was Blade.
We totally didn't talk about Blade at all.
Shia LaBeouf was in
That was
Constantine.
Blood Orgy or something.
Yeah.
No, that's
Wow.
good too.
Chaz Kramer.
I don't remember that.
Like
That's
from
strange.
Frasier.
Like slides in who's ready to have some fun.
What came out first, Underworld or The Matrix?
The Matrix.
Pretty sure The Matrix did, right?
The Matrix.
Yes. I'm just going to say yes because I don't know.
I just wonder because they kind of the
Matrix-
aesthetic of both movies kind of look similar, like the leather, black leather, and whoa, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I want to say that The Matrix came out in the year 1999, and then the Underworld movies came out in the year 2003.
2003 is correct for Underworld, and Matrix is either 98 or 99. 99. Yep. Okay. Wow.
Nailed
That's
it.
the first time. Yeah. I
That's
think
that's the first double
ever.
Also,
double correct date I've ever used.
in this episode that we lost, you said that one of the actors looked like Scott Stapp. I want Scott Stapp to be a vampire in our alternate universe. Please ring your bell, Tiny.
I don't even know who that is.
The lead singer of Creed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's a vampire.
I'll ring
Stapp
for that.
is a vampire.
He's a
Thank you.
vampire.
That was such enthusiasm on that
okay.
ring.
Okay. Feel better now?
Oh, you love it? I hate it.
You feel better now? Do you punk?
Why do vampires and werewolves have to always
Yeah, why can't they be friends?
be at each other's throats? Pun.
Because it's like you've got the dominant species being the alpha dominance
Yeah, you do.
of the predators. So
We're not talking about Alien versus Predator again.
I'm saying like say like a predator style hierarchy that you're going through here.
Right.
Who is the top of the food chain? If you've got to prove who's the leader of that, so you've got the lichens or you've got the vampires, and there's different forms and variations and powers on each side of them, depending how old their bloodline is, how many mutations on what direction their bloodline's gone. It's ridiculous what the canon of that universe gets into as far as like vampires and lichens descriptions. But you can do anything with the genetics of them as long as you know what you're trying to accomplish. Like you can have like Michael Corvinus in the first movie, who is a completely perfect bloodline that is clean, but from the original vampire bloodline.
Is he just a bat?
He is not. He is actually 100% human, carrying the latent genes of the vampire race, like the beginning of the genetic code, which the beginning of the genetic code of the vampires in that movie were also the beginning of the genetic... Oh, smacking it!
Yeah, Daddy.
Trying to talk too fast. Beginning of the genetic code for the werewolves as well. They were
That's
brothers.
what I was going to ask, because I was pretty sure it was both bloodlines.
Yeah.
But I do have a theory as to why they're always at odds. Okay.
Because they just can't get
Lichens-
even?
Well, that too. Well, yeah.
So you're telling me
I feel
the
good.
progenitor of the vampire and lichen races were two brothers long ago?
Yes.
No. They were the ones who originally had that genetics, that genetic split that was going on. But then, depending on how the virus that they had as that genetic split
Gotcha.
happened, that's where all of their
Gotcha.
offspring and stuff came from.
I'm never going to get back to my theory.
What theory?
Did you?
I was going to intentionally not get back to it, but
Oh,
that's
never
okay.
mind. Then I'm not going to try to dig
Well,
into it.
now I will.
Well, what was your theory? Because if we
Okay.
already said it before, we don't remember it because we don't ever remember things until we
Well,
listen
no,
to the
this
episode.
just occurred to me.
Oh, cool.
So the lichens they're werewolves.
Where are they?
They're people that transform into dog-like creatures. The vampires, they're cat people because they're all uppity. They got them long, pointy, sharp teeth like cats do,
I thought they were bat
and
people.
that's why they don't like each other. But bats, a lot of people don't realize, are 99.9% genetically the same as a cat.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's
I forgot
that's a
about
real
that.
fun fake fact.
Yeah.
Real fucking good. Okay, because I was gonna say foxes. I bet they would be closer genetic relations to foxes than they
And
would
speaking
be.
of foxes,
Werewolves?
Kate
No.
Beckinsale is foxy.
Well, if it wasn't
I was a little late on that one. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Kate.
Yeah, we had to hit it because we did before in the
Well,
last
yeah,
one.
because we had mentioned that previously. Because, of course, being the age that we all are, I mean, I think everybody in here is around a year or two close to each other. 30s. How about just 30s? Everybody here is 30s. So,
Well, that's true.
around that time, watching that movie as a adolescent teenage boy, you're going to see Kate Beckinsale in that really tight leather that's absolutely impractical to be fighting in.
it is so practical because the blood and the tissue just slide off.
What if it's not a very
She's
windy
sweaty.
day? If it's not a very windy day, is she still Kate Beckinsale, or would she be Kate Beckinsfloat? Like, what would you think, Tiny?
Kate Beckin moist. Because it would be sweaty inside of that leather suit.
That's a lot better than Kate Beckinsale.
I may beep that one. I may just get that one out of there.
But yeah, I lost track of the movies, to be completely honest, towards the very end of everything, because I kept up because I liked the second story. The second story, had the story of the original vampires and the original werewolves and everything. That was cool. And then the third movie was like the origins of the rising of the werewolves from being werewolves, which were those beastly dominant creatures, to the rising of them becoming the Lycans, which are the more intelligent and control of their powers style that they are. It was a movement for them because they were slaves to the vampires.
Did they rise like sourdough bread?
Yeah, whatever. So I don't get the joke, though.
Dough. Oh, it's a pun.
I was just trying to get
Feel
a,
the pain,
I was
Marcus.
just-
It's a pun. It's dough.
I was just trying to get a rise out of you. Anyway, so jeez, it's the yeast I could do. So
Oh, yeah.
no, I enjoyed them up until that point, because then the farther you got into the universe, the more you got into the questions remaining of the character's development, and it's like you're accepting that this is a shallow situation and enjoying the movie.
Are you
That's
talking about
me.
puberty?
No, well, yeah, actually, that's kind of a complete, time frame wise. That's it's exactly what it is. No, it's talking about they get bad. They just get bad. And I talked about it last time, but nobody's gonna be able to hear that. But they
No,
just started
it's
getting
gone.
bad.
It's gone forever.
And also we forgot to mention again that 9 foot tall Dommy mommy, because that's what but in the movies they had
Because of my topic.
they have a 25 foot tall werewolf. that
Dommy
happens.
Daddy.
Yeah. 25 foot tall Dommy Daddy. And he would also be a part of the mission area is problematic scenario that we ran into, because he, back way or no way, he's a 25 foot tall dog.
Gross.
So Marcus had asked in the episode that will never air, because
it's
it is
deleted.
lost to the ether. If the movies were worth watching, if you want to see a good story.
No.
Oh, okay.
So it's more just the world
It
and
is.
the
Yes.
magic and the
Yeah. Because and it
which
does
is
get
cool too.
It does
But I
get-
like it better when the story's there.
It gets a little bit better in depth than I can explain it, just because it's more of a visual thing as opposed to like a contextual thing. So like you're seeing the way that she was raised, and you're seeing that how she was actually taken from her family, and this and that. So it gives a good story, but at some point the story becomes muddled in its own. Let me think.
Juices?
Well, Dane doesn't have his phone on. No, it's the story becomes too. Just,
Why would he need to horn me for that?
we ask the same thing to God every day.
I I don't know if I should be offended or flattered right now.
Some of that human
So
horn.
I'm going to be both. Thank you. You.
It tried to get too much going. It had too much going on. Too many irons in the fire in the story.
Too many characters.
Too many, yeah, pretty much. And the more people they brought in, and the more in depth to the length of time they tried to include characters existing in the universe, it just kind of got too much. So if you wanted to watch Underworld, Underworld Evolution, and Underworld Awakening, I think those are 3 that are worth watching.
Cool.
The other ones, they're like just a desperate attempt, I think, at trying to keep that series cash cow going.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a desperate attempt to try to redo my topic from the lost episode, which it's a segment that I like to call Reddit Didn't Ask the Grapes. And that's where I go on Ask Reddit. I filter by new to find questions that have been asked recently that no one will probably ever see. And I find ones that I think they should ask us. I think we'd have the best answers to them. And
I made a joke about nudity.
there was some nudity. There was some joke about nudity.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was
what
really
it was.
good. It was funny.
Great. But
This whole episode is just you should have been there.
Yeah.
So the Where Arctic Fox, which has actually had a question in a recent episode that we've had to where the Mario crime family is born. They have another question on Ask Reddit, which is combine the last 2 video games you've played. What is it like, and is it good?
And I immediately started laughing because I played Rocket League and Call of Duty Zombies because Black Ops 4 is free on PSN, and so zombies invading the Rocket League court was hilarious to me at the time.
Yeah. Then it was really
Now
funny.
it's just depressing because
Now-
we lost it.
We let that part, man, we laughed so hard at that part. Y'all should have been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if Rocket League if the field were taken over by zombies, and that's how.
And I think little by little, like as you kick off, because it's just rocket car soccer. So picture that, and when you kick off, there's just a few zombies, so they're easy to mow over. They're easy to splat everywhere.
that was a good splat sound.
Good one. I liked it.
yeah.
Can you give me another splat?
Not as good.
One more, a little closer
more
to the
time.
mic.
Well, that would sound like poopy.
That one,
would-
you stepped in a hole.
No,
on
that's
that one.
good. That's really
Anyway, and plus, maybe the blood like on the court gets like slippery, and so you're like lose control of your car a little bit.
Oh,
But I think just
think of that.
at the longer it takes you to score a goal, because when you score a goal in actual Rocket League, there's this big explosion and all the cars go flying.
Mm-hmm.
So all the zombies would just get leveled to start, the invasion over again for the next kickoff. But
and
I don't
then
know.
The more zombies get onto your car without you running them over, you slow
It
down.
slows you
because
down.
the weight
yeah.
of them is on there.
So the longer it takes you to score, the more zombies are going to be spawned in there.
And that would
Right.
actually give up the usage of your boosts because you could actually get rid of zombie caking by using your boosts. So the more zombies you cake on, the slower you'll go. And you know how sometimes boost is unobtainable. You've got boost thieves. Like, son of a bitch, got my boost! Like, that's all Dane used to say all
all
the
I
time.
still
Boost
say.
stealing is like an actual strategy.
I don't even know what that means.
That's what you use to go faster.
Well, I know what
Yeah.
boost means, but how does one steal someone's boost?
Their respawn times of the boost orbs on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So when you run over a boost orb, you get more boosts.
And it takes a while before it respawns.
Right.
Gotcha.
But
Right,
maybe
right.
those boost things could also have like the perks from zombies in it, like like pack a punch, or no, pack a punch is like what you do to your weapons, but like Juggernog and things like that, like
Yeah.
make you stronger, make you faster. You
Yeah.
get different perks when you pick up
Put
the boost.
spikes
Different
on your
colors.
Yeah, spikes and like a shovel, like one of those things that they plow snow with.
Snow plows? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah,
probably.
Like a snow plow, like a plow shovel with.
Like, and they have a duration time, but they're actual boosts that actually gives different colors out there. So you've got your blue boosts, your red boosts, and everybody who's going to have different strategies, that's going to give them more options on the way that they're going to play that game. You can just have battle cars. All it would be is just Rocket League Zombie Battle is all it would need to be called.
Or what did you name it? Rocket League
I think
Blood
you
Moon?
named
Or
it
I
Blood
named
Moon.
it Blood
Yeah.
Moon. Okay, that was
Because we were
me.
talking about vampires and
That
all
was
that
a really
stuff,
good
too.
name I thought of.
Good.
that
Rocket
I
League
remember.
Blood Moon. You
I
heard it here
remember.
first.
Yes. It
Well.
will happen, and it'll be amazing.
And we'll not even know about it until we read about the reviews that are happening for them. We're like, hey, didn't we talk about something like this being created once upon a time?
Yep.
It's kind of...
Tiny, what 2 games have you
Well-
played most recently that you would combine to make?
Okay.
a
Well,
game?
my answer was god awful.
It was great.
But
I loved it.
But since we lost that one, I get to change my answer because I played
No.
something different.
Okay, the one he did before was basically if you were a fireman in the world of Skyrim,
Yeah,
which
it was
I thought
Firefighter-
was
Firefighter Tycoon.
incredible.
Just going out, putting out dragon fires.
I thought it'd be so good. But Tiny, what is your made-up last 2 games you've played that
Well,
you're
it's
going to put
still
together?
Skyrim, but now Power Washer Simulator.
Oh yes, I just saw that on Steam today.
Yep.
The power washing simulator.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you could just power wash out the fires, yes. So you
Or-
could still do the same thing as before.
I just see it as like just some dude running around with a power washer trying to clean up castles and the roadways and everything, just trying to make it look really nice. And here comes some jackhole on a horse leaving, footprints
Dragon blood.
across, and dragon blood across one of the bridges scattered throughout Skyrim. It's like, you son of a...
Man, we gotta. I wonder if the mics are picking up that beautiful rain.
That is actually very just low.
Peaceful,
Yeah.
but
Maybe just that piano.
okay. We'll add the somber piano back.
With the somber piano, it's coming back. Okay, and building with the Grapevine's biggest pianist.
Did you just say biggest penis?
Pianist.
Pianist.
Okay, I heard something totally different.
I know you did. That's why I said it.
Austin, what was the last 2 games you played?
I bet they can hear that rain. I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
I'm going to combine the last 2 games I played, and I don't want them to be the same. I don't want them
Then
to be.
make them different. Nobody heard the last episode anyway, and they don't know if we're lying or not.
Well, you
Just lie.
So I'm going to combine.
Just lie to make it funny. Lie to make a
so
joke.
I actually just wanted to combine the worlds of, because it's really not that off from what I would have said. Anyway, it's going to be Jump Force and Hades. I want an open world style with the characters from Hades with the same idea as the way that Supergiant made Hades look. Like, I want it to be more in depth with the graphics, and I also want it to be. Is it coming a monsoon?
It's a monsoon. It's beautiful.
It's a
Like,
mushroom.
hold on a second.
That's nice.
If the ghost
We all did that at the same
If
time.
the ghost of Bill Paxton shows up outside sniffing the freaking dirt and saying that there's a cucumber scent coming from the ground, I'm going to be very surprised, because that's...
We gotta get
We'd
out of
also
here.
have to stab him through the heart because
Yeah.
he'd be a Zambi.
Yeah.
My last 2 games that I've played were Magic the Gathering Arena and not Jeopardy. What's the one with the big wheel that
Wheel
you do?
of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So Wheel of Fortune and Magic the Gathering, both players have their own spinning wheels. Every card from your deck is in a different part of your wheel, and the only way to use them is if your ticker were to land on the card on the wheel. And in order for you to land a successful attack, you'd have to guess a letter on the board. So Wizards of the Coast needs to team up with Wheel of Fortune, because I would play this game. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
And Magic the Gathering and Wheel of Fortune? Or which
Yes,
one?
those are the 2 games. Yes.
So that's what you... Honestly, Vanna is kind of looking a little bit like one of those creatures off the cards here recently.
no. Does she?
Have
That's
you not been...
I haven't
rude.
seen her in a while.
Have you not watched it in a while? Okay,
No.
that is completely rude and unjust, because she's a sweet woman and she's done nothing to anybody. Okay, that's... Age suited Pat better, though, because Vanna's she's got a mouth that goes ear to ear.
Didn't Pat die recently?
No, you're thinking Bob Barker.
No. Bob Barker been dead for a while.
No, you're thinking of Jeopardy Man.
Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek.
Oh yeah, he
Well,
Alex Trebek has cancer if he's still alive.
Dick Clark.
New
You
Year's
just-
Rockin'
what?
Eve.
Did you just kill Dick Clark?
He's been dead for years.
Oh.
I think he just wanted to say dick.
Nah, just throwing out ideas just like y'all were.
Do you know how easy? Do you know how easy?
Who do we want to kill next?
Like, it would have been way too easy for somebody to misspell his last name with the wrong vowel. If you put E where that A is in his last name, you are a salesman of penis. So it's
Dick C. Jack.
Dick Clerk.
Where the hell did I get C. Jack?
Why did you replace the L with the J?
know.
Why? I did the C with the stuff.
Wow.
So instead of making our new game, we're making a new show host of a game show. What was it? Dick Seat Jack?
C. Jack.
C Jack. Dick C Jack, and he has a patch over his eye. Okay? Because he kind of looks like a pirate. Right?
Yeah.
Dick
yeah.
C Jack? I think that sounds about right.
And he's got a peg leg.
Does he have that too?
He's got
Or should
two
he
of
just
them.
have the Oh.
Dick. It's
Didn't SpongeBob do that?
It's Dick. It's Dick.
Was his name
C.
Dick?
Jack. Dick C. Jack and Veiny Wright. And Veiny Wright has only exercised the right half of her body the entirety of her life, and she is just super jacked on one side and just skin and bones on the left side.
Well, pressing all those screens like that is going to
Exactly.
get you pretty rich.
So she has
Yeah.
to make sure that her arm that she uses for the displaying, as she's extending that right arm, like it is just like, damn, like it is just beefy.
It's kind of like when Quagmire in that episode of Family Guy discovers
porn.
there's porn on the internet.
I'm not sure what that is.
He gets a really big right arm.
The internet?
No, actually,
Yeah.
he's left-handed. He got a really big left hand.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
He's incorrectly handed.
That
You
changes
idiot.
everything. That changes everything.
You don't remember what Quagmire's dominant hand is?
No.
What an
Well,
idiot.
that's
Do you-
the
are you-
episode that we found it out for sure.
Are you even
It is.
a funny man if you don't remember Family Guy
wondered.
stuff?
Family
I
Guy
remember
was
a lot
only
of
funny
early
for
Family Guy
a
stuff.
little bit, only a little bit.
Dance with me, Lois. Dance with me. Feel the fear.
I don't remember this.
Oh, it's so good. It's like the second or third, maybe, episode.
It is easy. It's easy to forget about Family Guy because their shenanigans carried on for so freaking long.
Just like this episode has been carried on for just long enough. Thank you for joining us on Nerd It Through the Grapevine, the episode covering the episode that never existed.
But it did for
It did for us.
It did for
But
us.
we were all super bummed, still am, super bummed. We did get to enjoy an hour of each other's company making funny things, but now we've gotten to the point where if it's not for someone else, why would we even do it? Why would I even make jokes with you idiots?
Well, it's about
without someone else listening.
it's about doing what we set out to do, which was make an episode of the podcast and to make a good one. And we
Right,
did
right.
that,
We
except we
did.
didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right,
what
right,
was so
right,
frustrating.
Right.
Plus, we pay you for your company.
You pay me for my company?
Yeah. I pay $100 to be on here every week.
Who are you giving $100 to?
Cardly. Are you telling me I'm the only one?
Our manager, my girlfriend. We have to speak with her.
I didn't even know we had a manager, and the fact that I haven't paid my dues kind of make me. I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah. I didn't know we had dues. Where's the money going?
Deuce. Oh, he's full of shit.
Pay your dues.
Pay your dues. I get it.
That's why I have ascended today.
Right. Anyway, the episode that will never air because it was deleted from the memory card before even taking it out of the recorder will not be found on Spotify and iTunes, but this one will. So if you're listening to us on one of those, go rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Rate all 5 stars, or the podcast demon will come back and he'll steal another episode from us if you give any less than 5 stars, because he feeds on the 5th star. And if it's not full by you already, then he can feed on it and he will ruin our lives forever.
Yeah, he's a fickle creature like a cat. Just because there's food in the bowl, that 5th star is the center food. So he'll eat the center food and then the bowl's empty. So then he's furious.
Right.
And then also, if you want to get on the Instagram account, the Facebook account, the Twitter account, you can get the search notification opened up and search at Nerd Grapevine. It's pretty easy. Then you can also get onto our Patreon account. Our Patreon account is going to be where you can donate a little bit to the cause, as I say, and you'll be able to get a Nerd It Through the Grapevine sticker that is a limited edition holograph. And Also, potentially unlock future content that we might not be able to reveal to everybody else.
That's ominous, and I'm into it.
It's ominous, and it might cause a little bit of
Discord. Yeah. Find us on Discord, Nerded Through the Grapevine Podcast. It's a public server. You can search for it and find us, free of charge. Join the Backyard Bonanza. And I have a homework assignment for everyone that's in the Bonanza. I need to know the melting point of an army truck.
Yes, and you have to get the components down right,
Yep.
because one will melt at a certain one, so...
Well, I just need a general overall, this is the melting point of an army truck, whatever that means to you. So hit us up where you can even talk to us directly, live, uncut, and uncensored. It's a great time.
Yeah. And, well, that's how I felt at the beginning of it. I honestly feel a little bit better about our loss, so I'm good. I'm good
We've
with this.
saved some of it.
Some of it was there. We got to laugh at my penis a lot.
Yeah,
so
we did.
that's my.
That's always a win.
That is a win.
Yeah.
That is a win for me.
It's
and,
a wiener.
And oh man,
Mashed
that brings
potato Jason.
that brings me to the point in our show to where I ask the question that's been plaguing everyone's mind for the past week. Marcus, when life gives you grapes,
You just delete them and record them over again.
oh,
We're recording grapes?
is it a grape recording?
Oh, no.
Did you have a grape time?
Can you... You got him.
Oh man,
You got him
I'm
with
sorry.
that one.
I didn't mean to grape your.
That's fine. Let's find out.
Oh, God.
You're going to make me censor something in the last seconds? Oh, I wish we still had the last episode. I wish it wasn't gone forever. I wonder if this one will make it through the whole